Now, first of all, here we have a degree of 3. Then the next one would be a degree of 2. This is a degree of 1. And this is a degree of 0, which is a constant. So the term that was missing was a degree of 2. So we have to write that term that's missing, but with a coefficient of 0. So let's start this again. So sometimes that happens, and so that's why you have to backtrack. So here we have 4x to the third. Do we have a degree of 2? No. So we're going to say plus 0x squared. Do we have a degree of 1? Yes, positive 5x. And then this would be our degree of 0, but we call that the constant. So now if you look carefully, we have x to the third, x squared, x, and then the constant. So now we do the same thing we did before. So we have 2x times 2x squared. So let's continue what we did before. So we have 2x times 2x squared is 4x to the 3. 3 times 2x squared is positive 6x squared. Notice what was different before. You see how we have x to the thirds line up and x squares line up. Before we didn't have that. So that's how you know you did something wrong and you have to backtrack. So far what do we have? We just divided, we multiplied to get this expression, and now we're going to subtract. Now keep in mind, if you have a lot of stuff, you got to put it in a bag. Just like that in math, a bag is called the parentheses. It keeps it neat and tidy together. And then our main operation right now is going to be to subtract. So let's continue. So look at how I point to each term. It's 4x to the third minus 4x to the third. So that cancels out. That's 0. Next part, we have 0x squared minus 6x squared, which is negative 6x squared. And then you bring down the next term, plus 5x. Okay, so divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. So we bring down the next term. Now we repeat the process again. We're going to divide. So negative 6x squared divided by 2x. Well, 2x times what will give us negative 6x squared? That's going to be negative 3x. And so we just divided, and now let's multiply. 2x times negative 3x is negative 6x squared. Positive 3 times negative 3x is negative 9x. So once again, divide, multiply. We just did the multiplication to get this expression, and now we're going to subtract. And always remember, when you have a lot of stuff, put it in a bag, and then we're going to subtract. And so let's look over here. We got negative 6x squared minus a negative 6x squared. And then that becomes 0, so we cancel it out. Next part, positive 5x minus a negative 9x, which becomes 14x. So far, divide, multiplied. So that was the multiplied here. We did the subtract, and now we bring down. So now we bring down the next term. So here we have positive 10. Now we do the same process again. We repeat from the beginning. So now we divide. 14x divided by 2x. So 2 times 7 gives me that 14. And then here I have an x. I need an x, so I don't need any more x's, so I stop there. So now we're going to multiply. 2x times 7 is 14x. 3 times 7 is positive 21. So we just multiplied to get this expression. And now we're going to subtract. So once again, you got a lot of stuff, put it in a bag. And now let's subtract. And so we have 14x minus 14x. It cancels out. And then 10 minus 21 is negative 11. And so this is our remainder. And so if I wanted to write my final quotient, and keep in mind quotient is your answer to a division problem, it's as follows. 2x squared minus 3x plus 7, so let's write that down. 2x squared minus 3x plus 7, and then now we're going to put the remainder next to it. So we have negative 11, so that's minus 11 over, and then you copy down the divisor. Keep in mind each of these you are dividing by the divisor. Look at how even the beginning of the question, right? This is divide by the divisor. Same thing. Your remainder, divide by the divisor. And so we're going to divide by the divisor. So let's write down 2x plus 3. And that is our final answer.